What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
You know what time it is, everybody? It's about to be cry time? Everybody's saying this chapter is sad, but we know we're dealing with flashback territory. We're in flashback territory. Things are bound to get a little, emotional. So, started a little bit later because since everybody said it was sad, I was like, okay, let me add a sad emoji. So I replaced the Gin copium emoji with Gin crying. Yeah, just a quick fix, just a quick one. So a flashback to end all flashbacks. Okay. Get this pulled up here. Bonnie's Birth, chapter 1098. We got Soul Kingu. Brooke busting out a solo using an electric eel to power his guitar. You got Rock written in the background. He has some drippy pants with something, what is it? I didn't finish the art in time, Oda. Yeah, I did hear about that. So we'll see what happens. And flashback to rule them all. Organizing my windows. Then I'm gonna put the OST on, and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna do this. See Evo, what's up, man? Neil, Cone Killer, DK, Chin, Lucy, Mark, Dizza. Be prepared. I don't know. Hey, look, this is One Piece, okay? It's been a while since we've had flashbacks like this, so. But I'll just put Mother C on a loop for me here. Alright. Here we go. Oda's getting me today? Alright. Revolutionary Army HQ. Voltago. Why is it sideways? Why is it looking like Whitebeard pulled up? Requesting aid. The rebellion in Toomey in the South Blue is overmatched. Can't go, our ship's already loaded with the injured from Goa Kingdom. I'll go. Don't even think of it. You've been pushing yourself too hard ever since then. He's huge. Who is that? Where'd he come from? Have we jumped past the Ginny stuff? The injured from Goa Kingdom. Not from the ASL flashback, right? Ginny's been captured. Look at Kuma's face. Look at those eyes. That's right. It seems a celestial dragon had his eye on her, and she was taken on a government ship to be that celestial dragon's wife. I mean, we're not going down a path where Bonnie is actually the daughter of a celestial dragon, right? We won! Finally, 3 years of war have paid off at last! And it's all thanks to the Revolutionary Army. Our unit was wiped out by a surprise attack. It's the Revs again. The Revolutionary Army are the true heroes of the people. I'm so sorry. It's me, Dragon. I'm tired. I'll take his ship home. I'm so sorry. Ginny, a captain of the Revolutionary Army, was abducted and made into a celestial dragon's wife. Roughly 2 years later, we're here. Bonnie. Kuma, quick, it's from Ginny. Hey, I'm back, Kumachi. Back to the lower world. Oh, don't tell me they turned her. I got sick. See, they didn't want me anymore. They dumped me off. Oh no. What you doing, Oda? Lucky me, huh? Sick. Really wish I could see you all, but this is me saying goodbye. What are you saying, Ginny? I thought I'd never see you again. Where are you? I'll be there at once. Sorry, Kumachi. I'm dying. It won't be long now. I appreciate your concern, but don't come looking for me. Dragon, big bro. Watch over Kumachi. He's too kind for his own good. Kuma. But there's only one place she'd come back to. Kumachi, just remember, I'll always, always love you. Back. Where's Ginny? Is she here? Man teleported with quickness. But she is, but her face and body, all of her skin, turns blue and hard as stone after it's been exposed to natural light, she said. So I wonder what happened to her. I'll make you so happy. She crossed the sea by day to ensure her baby lived, in case anything happened to herself. Somehow, she made it here safely. Don't worry, Ginny. I'll raise your daughter. Look at him in those pews. Oda does it again. I ain't your father, but I'm your daddy. Discuss that. Definitely discuss that. Ginny. Brave, though? The hell is this disease? All of her skin turns blue and hard as stone. No, all wrong. Bottle's at the wrong angle. You're drowning poor Bonnie in milk. Here, let me do it. She's so darling. She needs an iron cage to sleep in. If you roll over, you'll crush her. I'm getting flashbacks. Man. This also means that Bonnie is not 20 or 22 years old. Look at her. She's a champion drinker. She's got Ginny's appetite. Look at that happy Kuma smile. Daddy. Aw, look at him crying. Her putting on a dress. Him feeding her. Hanging out with the old people. Kuma throwing some casual Ursa shocks. A little bit of bath time. Heading back to the revolutionaries. So she was mostly raised by the older people in the town, which may tie into Queen Dowager Connie and all that stuff. Oh, Sabo. Hey, Sabo made it in. Kuma training Sabo. What are you doing, man? Why shutter all the windows in the church? The Wheeze, shut the door. Look, below her eye. The blue stone. Oh, she's got what Ginny had. Wait. Is that what killed Ginny? Oh, damn. Does Kuma catch this? Does he catch this? And then that's why he turns into a robot? Because he would have died either way? And he didn't want her to know? I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but let's see. I'll call the doc. Please do. Really, when you go into sunlight? Let's take you out for a test. Don't you dare. It's not white lead disease, which is where my mind went before they said blue stones. Sorry, I don't quite recognize this one. Quitting the revolutionaries? Bonnie's caught the same disease? I don't know what to do, but I want to be with her. Very well. Live without regrets. We'll ask every doctor in the world that we can. I appreciate that, Dragon. 7 years ago. Bonnie, age 5. So Bonnie's 12 years old. Run away. Don't get eaten by the vampire. Get lost and don't get found, stupid brats. Yeah. Can't come this far. You're a vampire who can't come into the light. Take this cross. Shing. So does her devil fruit fix this? I mean, we've seen Bonnie in the main timeline and everything wearing a lot of hoods. I mean, is that just a result of the trauma of having this disease, or does it still affect her? But the archipelago was daytime, so there has to be something that cures her. This is a church, you idiot. I chase you out here. Wait, Bonnie. Please, just don't go outside. Even the doorway makes me nervous. Such a chicken, Daddy. I'm just kidding with them. Don't do it, even as a joke. I don't want to make you sad. You're such a good girl. Stop it, crybaby. You know what they did? They made fun of my face stones again. Face stones. Jewelry, Bonnie? Is it that weird? It's a disease. I can't help it. What? Your jewels? Yikes. You're just jealous because it makes you look so beautiful. Look at that daddy energy. You think so? Yes, I love them. After you're cured, Bonnie, if we went on a trip, where would you want to go? He did it. He said the line. Did it. Do you know about Sky Islands? There are islands in the sky? That's right, I saw it in a book. Maybe Nika will be there, since it's so close to the sun. I bet you'd be excited about that, Daddy. Sky would be a huge adventure. Maybe I'll do that once you turn 20. Where was your 19th gonna be? Fishman Island. I'm afraid that what your daughter has is an incurable disease known as sapphire scales. You know what it is? Please, not so loud. I've only heard of a few cases in recent memory. All kinds of natural light, sunlight, moonlight, cause the stone to spread. But even if you block the cause entirely, it will eventually spread over time. Oh boy. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, sir. Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. She won't see her 10th birthday. When did Kuma start the process of changing into a robot? Good lord. There's no known cure yet. Age 10. Can't be. She's so healthy. Is there really no way to stop the disease? Gotcha. Ooh. Honey, I thought you were asleep. I heard that. What about age 10? Age 10? What do you mean? I heard you say age 10. Wait, you crying? Is it about me? Oh, age 10. Yeah, age 10. Would you believe that, doctor? He told me that you won't get better until you reach age 10. Ah! It seems so far away. I was feeling a little down about it. So will it be better when I'm 10? And then I can go around the world with you? Oh, what do I do now? Of course, you'll be better when you're 10! 1 year later, the nightmare returned to Sorbet Kingdom. You have to help. King Bakori's gone and done it again. It's 16 years ago all over again. He's gonna burn everyone. He thinks he's weighing the country down. He's inhuman, I tell you. Slaughtering folks in the streets. Oh, just processing, guys. Just processing. He didn't even get to see Ginny before she went. See, but now I see why Kuma was destroying Marijoa. He had a vendetta. This is why Kainu couldn't kill her.
Savage.
Which celestial dragon is it? And it said that, like, took particular interest in her. When did they have a run-in other than God Valley? Like, you know, which gets creepy. Did Ginny have... The celestial dragon had his eye on her. I mean, they interacted with Saturn at God Valley, but then that just gets really weird. The girl is of age. God. Who could it be now? I mean, if it is a Gorosei, then it ties into the end of the story, but... You know what's crazy, too? Bonnie is technically one of the first people, or if not the first people, to explain the Celestial Dragons to us, or at least to Zoro, right? Because she's half Celestial Dragon. There we go. There's the callbacks. Yo. This is so insane. I still think Bonnie... Nothing here says that Bonnie still can't die as a child and then get cloned by Vegapunk, though. You know, not that I'm gonna, like, die on the hill, but I think it makes the story even more tragic. Man. Alright. Get into some of these, super chats here. Appreciate everybody joining me today.
Savage.
Shout out to Brandon King, who said, I think I know the daddy. Saturn's her dad. Saturn in Japanese is Satan. Her dad is Satan. Her father is Jesus. Plus, Ushioni give incurable disease. I did just mention Saturn, but the incurable disease angle, which we've talked about, damn. And if it's Saturn, then it makes it even more, all the more better when Kuma comes and, like, potentially kills him. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Shout out to everybody in here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. And oh, shout out to Kermit D. Frog. People want people want Bonnie to be related to a god knight or JGS. 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 What's JGS? Why am I not remembering this abbreviation here?
But I think it would hurt more if her father was Saint Roswald, referencing the introduction scene with Zorro, and the present dynamic between Kuma and that family. Well, Kermit D. Frog, I would agree. Roswald is definitely one of the first things that popped up in my mind. So, I mean, it ties it back to that, and we can find Charlos, but, you know,
You loyal.
it's deep either way, you know?
J. Garcia Saturn. Right. Okay. I've never seen someone called J. Garcia Saturn JGS. So that's why I'm like, what? David said, what's up with the voice? That was Kermit D. Frog. Kermit D. Frog super chatted. So you have to read it in the Kermit voice, and you have to answer in the Kermit voice. That's it. Let's go. Treese said, in Vedic astrology, blue sapphire is the gemstone of Saturn. I wonder if sapphire scales tie into the disease from the Ushioni legend. Well, I think that answers it right there. Let's go. You cracked it. Like, I like the idea of Roswald and tying into Sabadi and all of that, but my guy Dizza, member for 28 months, said, I cried 7 a.m. Wednesday reading this. I cried Thursday talking with Barry and Vern about this. I cried Friday listening to all the reactions to this chapter. I'm crying now. I need Luffy to Charlos punch all of Marijoa. I am in pain over Ginny.
Savage.
I'm in... It hurts. And the fact that we didn't see her? But maybe it's for the best. I want to remember her as she was in 1097. Man.
Gonna cry?
Joy Girl's read was heart-wrenching. What if it's Garling? I mean, that's crazy if
You
it's Garling.
loyal.
Terrible TJ said I sound like Jordan Peterson. I just want to know when a celestial dragon caught, when Ginny caught the eye of a celestial dragon. Because if it's God Valley, a conversation needs to be had with Oda. Is there any chance it's Saint Jalmac giving the go a kingdom? Ooh, see, I like that. I like that. If it ties into the ASL flashback, what's the timeline? Because they reference the Goa Kingdom here and that they were saving people, but does the timeline match the ASL time? Because if Ginny was there, then Jalmac could have spotted her, like after hitting Sabo, and then they leave with Sabo. See, like that works out. If the time works out, then that makes sense to me. Spartan Gibble said it's sadder if some no-name celestial dragon that did this. It is sadder, but at this point in the final saga, we need to tie things as much as possible to other characters. Ace2532 super chatted, appreciate you, and said, if Saturn is the one who took Ginny and is the biological father, I want Kuma to rip him apart limb from limb. You and me both. Also, on a lighter note, with the strike now over, will the next stream be dedicated to the live action? We will be getting live action content now that the SAG strike is over. I just have to have some conversations with Netflix marketing as far as some of the ideas that I have. But my general opinions on the show, what I liked, what I missed, anything like that is, free reign to be asked. Duran Rostuvia, member for 4 months, said maybe this is a mirror to Queen Otahime. Well, we need more information to really figure that out, but, I mean, the possibilities are there. Octillery Knight said, look at the shape of the jewel under Bonnie's eye when Kuma lies to her living. It's the celestial dragon symbol. Definitely a celestial STD. That is a wild way to put that.
Savage.
Let's take a look.
You loyal.
It does kind of look like the soaring hoof a little bit, but I doubt that that's actually intentional. And even with the official here, things are a little scuffed. So might have to wait for the volume to really see if that was intentional. Baby Pluto N, member for 11 months, that Kuma became a slave to get rid of Bonnie's disease. It's going to be something along those lines. Like, if I wanted to get this darker, like, whatever Bakori is doing here gets Bonnie killed. Then he takes her body and her memories to Vegapunk. He clones her. He never lets her know that she is a clone, but now her new body does not have this disease. Somewhere along the lines, the Celestial Dragons get, figure out what he did, and to keep her away from them, he trades himself. Something like that. We'll workshop it. David Cott said, Dragon on Fraud Watch. Fisher Tiger alone was capable of more. Seems less likely that 1100 will be centered around Dragon. Depends. We'll find out. We're 2 chapters away, There's the possibility that this could wrap up in the next chapter. There's the possibility that this bleeds into 1100, and then, it ends halfway into that chapter, and then the end of 1100 is just Kuma arriving in front of Saturn, which is what I wanted for 1099. There's a geographical hurdle for Dragon to get to Egghead in time. Do I still want it? Yeah, but geographically it doesn't make sense. But math piece-wise and everything like that, it does. So we'll see how Oda wants to go. Zigzag said, I think there was a culling game on Gaimon's Island, and that's where Ginny got captured. My guess was Koja in the East Blue. That was what I wanted, which was the island that Judge attacks a year after these events. And I wanted it to be a way to tie Vegapunk into this flashback. Like if he was operating out of the East Blue at first, then that would have been interesting. I don't know what's happening. The anime will definitely do this episode justice for Seal. She was kidnapped 14 years ago. The ASL flashback happened 12 years ago. Yeah, I didn't think the timeline worked out. My guy Luke said, I think the craziest revelation is that she was a 10-year-old at the archipelago. Yeah, I should have known that was going to be the case just after everything with Momonosuke, but I wanted to hope that Bonnie was actually just a 20 or 22, 24-year-old girl. But if she ends up being a clone, then she's really like 4 years old or something. In theory. Oda in his SBS, he saved himself here because he only ever said that she looked a particular age, not that she was one. So he built this twist in here. I just, it's not I wasn't a fan of Momonosuke getting aged up. I'm not necessarily a fan of, this Bonnie business yet, but I do see the, the emotional resonance. Like, I get it. I get it. But I have my own reservations. Math, Super Chat, and said, Chapter 1100, Kuma arrives at Egghead with Vivi, Wapple, and Morgans. He crashed on the World Economic News headquarters. That's why he's taking so long to arrive. Well, Morgans, Wapple, and Vivi, they're gonna get there. I think they're gonna get there by 1103. I don't need Kuma to be with them. I need this to be just Kuma on his own, pulling up right now. Things get so crazy, and then you have Morgans, Wapple, and Vivi be the
come with me if you want to live.
At the end of the arc.
Savage.
They're trying to escape. They get the help from those guys. Chin said, I called it, Randy. Ginny dies close to childbirth. Did say that. Container Productions member 15 months said, what did Kuma do to Oda to deserve this? Brandon trying to remind me of what Blackbeard said to Bonnie. Saeed said it wasn't just Roswell's family that enslaved Kuma. Every family had their turn with him. They mentioned it was their turn to rent him. Yeah. Oh man. What if it is Saturn, but he had his eyes on Ginny because of Kuma? Because Kuma said, are you important, mister? Like, The fact that he did all of these, like, it has nothing to do with Ginny or anything other than the fact that she loves Kuma and he wanted to take something from Kuma.
You loyal.
I think that's it. Like, it's not Ginny, it's Kuma. All of it is Kuma. And to further get back at the Buccaneers, too. What if it's that, guys? Yeah, Saturn's just salty. Because wasn't Ginny not there in the first place when that conversation happened? Wasn't it just Kuma and Ivankov? So, if that's the case, Saturn is just salty that someone didn't, like, kneel to him and held a grudge for, 20 plus years. Stop giving Oda more ideas. Carmelo Smith, member for 7 months. Chapter 1060, we actually see Bonnie in her normal form. The warm Ed negates her devil fruit power. Bro. That was people's main reasoning for that. That we were seeing her true form there. And I just... like... I can't be blamed for saying I didn't want that. I can't be blamed for that. It's a fair thing to not have wanted that. My guy AJ1218, member for 30 months. I think that's the first time I've seen the 30-month member anniversary there. That's crazy. When Bonnie tackled Zoro, she was in kid form, and the celestial dragon referred to as a kid. That damn foreshadowing. Oda's a dirty dog. Guy Luke said, "Oh my god, this makes Blackbeard trying to wife Bonnie up so much creepier." It makes a lot of things creepier. It makes a lot of things creepier.
You loyal.
Billy said, "Dragon's not a fraud. He can't jeopardize his fight against an 800-year-old government because he lost someone. He's more practical than Luffy." Yeah, that's where Garp gets it. Especially if we find out that Garp is, like, trying to undermine the government as well. It's like, hey, look, I love Ace, but this is bigger than Ace. Like, I truly believe that will still be the case of everything. Guy Emil said, "This changes how we see the Kuma Perona encounter." In what way, Emil? I mean, he pulls up, he says, "Where would you like to go if you could go anywhere on a vacation?" Which is what he said to Bonnie here in this chapter. It's like, it's the lighter version. We got the darker version there, right? We talked about how his hands are holy and healing in the flashback, right? But you have lines during Thriller Bark, like Nami saying, "Those hands are dangerous." Basically saying those hands are evil, right? So it's all perception. The perception is being inverted, and that's what I love about, all of this deepening of the Kuma lore. Because you go back to things like Thriller Bark and everything, and it's just... It's yummy. He's 2532 and 1072. Bonnie uses a move called Distorted Future, and she looks just like Kuma. She was actually the daughter of him and Ginny. Yeah, I've seen the Distorted Future thing come up a lot. I mean, we even talked about it when that chapter came out, that it was like, oh, she's kind of got the proportions of Kuma now. Mark said my girlfriend is a Bonnie fan, so this is gonna kill her when she catches up. Chrissy loves Bonnie too, and as far as I know, she hasn't read the chapter yet. Verona's a pink-haired girl that looks like Bonnie. Do I really see Saturn marrying, though? That's a counter-argument.
Savage.
Saturn being the dad. The way I see the Celestials is there is no marriage. There, you know, especially the Gorsey, there's probably arrangements. And it's like polygamy. Like, he's just got 50 wives. Ginny was just one to make Kuma mad. Oh, this is interesting. Hasib said Bonnie might be cured rather than cloned, as we can see her piercing at the same site as her sapphire stone disease. That's interesting. I'm still team Bonnie's a clone, but the interesting point about that is that her piercing is at the stone site, which I didn't think of. Way to go, Oda. Way to give power to a piercing. Like, that is crazy. What's up, Maxo? Mint Chocolate, member for 7 months, said both strikes over. Yes. Catching up on the stream, want to say congrats. Thank you, Mint. Appreciate you. It's not that Bonnie being a child wasn't like it's a theory that's been around for a long time. It's just not one that I wanted to believe. But we're here. This is the distorted future. Because now we look at other scenes like, what were you doing, Oda? What were you trying to say here? That's interesting, because Saturn did call Bonnie Kuma's daughter. While I don't necessarily think that that needs to debunk Saturn being the biological father of Bonnie, I think it could potentially, you know, a theory could be said and informed that that was part of the deal with Kuma. And it's like, she's not your daughter anymore. Like, you can't claim her. You want me to become your weapon? You want to create a bunch of weapons using my book and your blood and all this other stuff? Like, Probably got 50 million kids out there over the last 800 years. This one's mine. Alejandro Salas said 13 read-alongs, 13 OP YouTubers. This has been rough. This chapter absolutely broke Jay. I'm gonna have to check that out. Email said, I like the theory in which Kuma paws out the sapphire scale disease and takes it himself. Yeah, we did mention that earlier. To keep it at bay, he replaces the jewels with cyborg parts. Yeah. Until there's nothing of him left. I think that that's what's going to happen. Whether it's not that he takes it from Bonnie, he ends up getting it anyway. And he doesn't want... Now, this is why this works, right? Because we've already seen this with Hero Look and Chopper. It's the same theme. It's the same idea. I don't want what you did to me to be what kills me. That's what it's going to be. That's exactly what it's going to be. Whether it's he takes it from her or not, he's going to get the disease. And he's going to continue replacing his body and take away the memory from Bonnie in the first place that she was responsible for it. Because just like with Chopper, with the Amiyadaki mushroom, your mushroom won't kill me, Chopper. Hero Look offs himself so that the burden isn't on Chopper. So Kuma, just like Hero Look, is turning himself into a cyborg to make sure that Bonnie is not responsible for his death. That's what it's going to be.
Savage.
Shout out to Octillery Knight. Said Kuma isn't a stepfather, he's the father that stepped up. Like a lot of One Piece fathers. Shout out to Zeph. Shout out to Whitebeard. Shout out to Shanks. Only with Luffy for a brief period of time. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Scuba7. Appreciate you. Said, what if Kuma and Dragon go to Sorbet Kingdom and deal with King Bakori? Kuma becomes the so-called tyrant and spams Ursa Shock. Dragon uses his wind power to put out fires. Parallels to the Grey Terminal fires, maybe 1099, 1100. I mean, this is where he's definitely going to become the tyrant, or whatever.
Savage.
I wonder if he ever does actually become the king, or if it's just propaganda. Like, does he dethrone Bakori, and then everybody's just like, we love you, Kuma, like, just be our king. And then while that happens, then, you know, all of the tragedy in his life strikes. That's if Bonnie survives whatever this thing is with Bakori. All right. We got some more chats to get into. Definitely got to reread. We got a lot of stuff to continue talking about here. But for right now, cheer peace.
Hi, I'm Captain America. Here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have. Patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
Get these likes up, guys.
Oh, no, no. No.
Baby Pluto N said, could Bonnie be one in the church? Then Ginny could have been pregnant when kidnapped. The disease was given to her as retribution for being tainted. And then it is Kuma's kid? Find out the truth that we get this bait and switch and we think all of this, that, I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know if we'll get that. That is interesting. Did I notice that the cross in the church has the same kind of sun as the flag of Alabasta? I did not. Because I didn't do my deeper look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the cross does have the Alabasta flag inside of it. Has there been any additional info released about chapter scheduling? I don't know. Miles said, that's my copium as well, Randy. This broke my heart, but Rouge did have a 20-month pregnancy. We've seen weirder things in One Piece, so, shout out to Miles with my least favorite fact in the story. Oda better get Mori on the phone. Yeah. Axel said, I don't know if Ginny and Kuma were doing the nasty at any point. Yeah. Kuma's on that celibacy life. Big Verge. It's not Alabasta necessarily, it's just the sun god symbol. I mean, probably, yeah. But it's definitely, when we see that mark, it's usually a sign of allies from the past. Because it's not only the Alabasta flag that has similarities to that. Bonnie was talking about seeing the Sky Islands in a book. She is reading Kuma's Bible. That's interesting, Spartan. Which, first of all, Pastor Kuma, you didn't read the Bible? You didn't read it front to back 50 times? You don't know about Sky Islands? Getting information from your daughter? Looking at your Bible? What kind of sermons are you giving? You only reading the first couple chapters there? Kuma said Genesis is the only book he needs, right? Let's look at this a little more. Let's go back into this a second time. Is this the first time we've ever heard of Toomey in the South Blue? J. Real Hogan said, I think Bonnie and Ginny have law disease. It was actually specifically mentioned in the chapter that it is not white lead disease. And it's also said to be blue scales rather than the white flakes. Now, it could be some sort of a variation of it. You know, I think it's interesting if, let's say, one of Saturn's abilities is to give you this sapphire disease, right? But one of the other Gorsei's ability is to give you white lead disease. Like, if it's something that, like, these plagues are something that are given by world nobles or the Gorsei because of their mythical fruits or something, or just their evil devil demonness, then, you know, that's kind of interesting. Said said you can see the letters IBL on one of the panels. Referring to what? Shout out to Container Productions. Thank you very much for that. I want to see nothing but W's in the chat. The lavish bracket activity is here.
Lavish bracket. In a lavish bracket.
Container Productions said, "It is so sad to see that Kuma didn't hear Ginny's last words to him. Oda really did Kuma dirty." He really did. He did him so dirty. Like, I said that when I was reading, too. I was just like, he's not going to hear it. He's not going to get there in time. And sure enough, he didn't.
Lavish bracket. In a lavish bracket. Lavish bracket. Gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. Beat my fabric. Do you see this jacket? Do you see it? Pay my taxes. Trust me, you can track it.
Oda didn't have to do that, but he did. But the craziest thing about that to me is that Ginny said, "I'm back at the lower world." Like, they broke her. They broke Ginny. Like, that's the part that hurts me the most when I read this chapter. Is that she's back down from Marijoa with her people, talking to her friends, and still regurgitating the lines that were spewed to her. It all just hurts. It all just hurts. Thank you, Container. Appreciate you. I'm like almost at that part in my reread here, trying to piece everything together. So, the start of this chapter, is it already 2 years later? So that the wounded that they're dealing with at Goa is because this call and everything is happening like right around the time of the ASL flashback at that time, right? That's got to be right. Because it was 12 years ago. We were 14 years ago with Ginny. Now we're 2 years after that, so we are 12 years ago. So this is ASL. They're dealing with the wounded at Goa, which is a little bit of a retcon if that's the case, because Kuma was there at Goa. When they found Sabo. But technically, wasn't that the scene where they found Sabo? Wasn't that never in the manga? It fits with the ASL flashback timeline, yeah. Jin said, makes me think which is worse. Kuros' wife forgetting he even exists while dying, or Kuma wasn't able to hear Jinny's last words before dying. Scarlet. Scarlet, that's an easy one for me. That's Scarlet. Like, this hurts. But when does a man die? When he's forgotten? So, like, that is... That Scarlet Heroes flashback, people sleep on it because it was shown 19 times in Dressrosa, but it is actually one of the best flashbacks. Spencer said the book they read together is Kuma's Bible. Saeed said, Toomey is an American suitcases and bag manufacturer. I did see that when I Googled Toomey to see if we had ever seen it before. And all I got was suitcases and bags. There's not even a wiki page for it yet, so that told me everything I needed to know. He was there, but then told Eva he can teleport there. So he was at Goa. Okay, I see. When he says I'll go, that's him at Goa during ASL. Then this other scene where he's somewhere else. What is this? Oh, he goes to Toomey. I get it. It's a little, it was a little confusing, but now I get it. Something's happening in Toomey. They're there during ASL. He says, I'll go. He goes to Toomey, stops the uprising that's happening there because he needs to vent, and he's on a rampage. They win at Toomey. This is Toomey that we're seeing. Okay. Revolutionary Army again. Here's to the Revolutionary Army, the heroes of the people. Two years later, Ginny, captain of the Revolutionary Army, was abducted and made into a celestial dragon's wife. We're here, Bonnie. So that line, we're here, Bonnie, I missed. So I like the idea that Ginny actually got to name her daughter.
Savage.
Shout out to my guy Maxo. Said excited for Dragon to beat the fraud allegations when he wheels in Doc Q next chapter. I searched the whole world over. I mean, give the man some sort of a win. Said said, Toomey's a generic term encompassing the many kinds of sharp tools used in pre- and post-colonial eras of the Central Andes. Toomeys were employed for a diverse set of purposes, such as kitchen knives, agricultural tools, warrior hunting, secondary weapons, sacrificial knives, barber implements, pendants, medical tools. In addition, the Toomey form in metal was used as a type of coin, Pre-Columbian tombs were usually made of metal or stone. So that's where that's the etymology, that's where he's getting the name of all of everything here. Does he even get any W's? That's savage, Jen. That's savage. If he's actually Luffy's dad, and that's not a lie also, then just having Luffy as a son is a W, but we don't even know if that's true. Let's see. You know, it's interesting seeing Oda's process here, right? We all know that he didn't finish, drawing everything. But that's really more apparent in the first couple of pages, which kind of implies that he draws out of order. Or went back to redraw this stuff. It's an interesting little thing to think about. Ugh. Oda back at it with the, I was just rereading all of the, Ginny dying stuff here. Which, I'm not even gonna claim as a W, that was just the obvious thing when we first met the character. But Oda, as usual, did a good job of making us like the character. This chapter is beautiful. It's crazy how sheltered Bonnie is. Bonnie was, right? Kept inside of a church basically her entire life. Which is going to be even worse if she does die, and then it was only her clone that got to see the world. Ugh. 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 I'm gonna... God. I really like that Oda went the route to like call her a vampire. That these kids are using crosses against her. Like it's a subtle thing, but I like it. It's clever. Kuma's a good dad, man. I just don't buy that Kuma doesn't know about Sky Islands. Like, you're gonna tell me that nobody in the Revolutionary Army knows about Sky Islands, or that he didn't read his Bible?
You loyal.
Savage.
Guys, this is Chopper's backstory all over again. It's hidden. We'll see where we go with, 1099 and all of that, but just as it is right now, this is a top 5 contender. With the possibility of entering the top 3. We'll see how it pans out. Right now, I'd say 1 and 2 for me are Nami and Choppers, and then number 3 really might be the Kuros flashback. Hot take. Not a Straw Hat flashback, but it's for me. Shout out to Jonathan Arcade, member for 19 months, who said, "Happy Swedish Father's Day to you, Randy." Oh, that's Swedish Father's Day. Thank you. I'm not Swedish, but hey, appreciate it. And we're reading this chapter about a father on Swedish Father's Day. And to the GOAT, One Piece father Kuma, and celebrating, so missed the reaction. But hope you cried. I did not cry, but I did feel the emotions. One Piece has always made me cry more in the anime than in the manga. I think the last time I actually started to tear up a little bit reading the manga was chapter 903 when I saw Luffy's bounty. It was just like seeing his 1.5 billion buried bounty was like, my boy made it. But it's like, when I go back to some of these flashbacks and, you know, they start playing Mother C and all of that, like, oh. But I would also say that I tear up more at the happy moments than the sad moments when I watch the anime. Like, big wins and everything, like, that almost gets me more. Shout out to Enki Dude. Appreciate you. There was no message, but I appreciate the super.
Savage.
Alexander, appreciate you, said, unsure of the geography, but did Kuma climb the red line because his fruit couldn't go through it on his way to Egghead? Do we have any theories? I mean, that is the theory. That he had to go there first to get there. Shout out to Avalon Rising for subscribing. That button exists, guys, if you want to join, get those likes up, be a part of the fun. But given all of this, I would also buy that Kuma was so petty that he knows he's going to die, and he's like, let me go mess some stuff over at Marijoa before I go to Egghead. Let me just drop some Ursa shocks on him. Emil says she's a Twilight vampire. She sparkles and glitters. Oh man, that might have to be the meme of the week. I've never seen the movies though, so now I'm gonna like find something. Saeed said, in Thriller Bark, when Brooke didn't have a shadow, didn't have a reflection, the Straw Hats said that he was a vampire. Brooke's also on the cover page. Brandon said, what if Sapphire Scale is a disease that spreads only amongst the celestial dragons, which is why they wear the helmets to prevent the sun from hitting them? That is an interesting take, but I want it to simply just be that they don't want to breathe the same air as the commoners. That somewhere up there, they've got somebody pocketing the air from Marijoa. Axo said, you sure, Randy? Getting some Swede vibes? Oop. Catching up in the chat here. Mizo said the doc said any exposure, sunlight or moonlight. Fishbowl's not stopping anything. Yeah, exactly. Ugh. What a chapter, guys. So what's the deal? Is there a break or no? We got any information about this? Because even Viz like just doesn't have a timeline here. Normally it says new chapter in 7 days, new chapter 14 days. Yes, break. I mean, we did just get 3 chapters in a row, so. Cole Killa said, looking forward to Cross-Guild bounty reveals next week. What, in the anime? That'll be 2 weeks from now. Next chapter is gonna, next episode is gonna be them leaving Guano. Theoretically, they're adding a bunch of filler, so we'll see if they actually end the chapter, end the episode with them going over the mountain or not. Next week's gonna be anime canon. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be streaming that. I streamed last night's episode. It's members only. I'll stream the next episode probably Saturday night, right around when it comes out. Theoretically, shout out to Tristan for subscribing. Appreciate you. So if you miss it live, it's going to be members only because it affects the algorithm, so I can't leave it up. And then we're definitely going to be seated for the Cross Guild Crocodile Return, Croc's Bounty, all of that. Like, that's good. That's gonna be one of my favorite episodes of the series.
久しぶりだな。
Jin, I'm excited for the filler because look, here's the thing. When they added extra stuff to the Kiku versus Kanjuro fight, that was good stuff. It stepped on the eventual adaptation of 1014, but it was stuff that should have been in the manga. And then the now they're gonna do like them actually saying bye to Carrot, another scene between Luffy and Tama. Like, this is all the wrap-up stuff that Oda probably would have done if he wasn't pressured to make Wano Act 3 100 chapters. Mugiwara. Not play the part. Nah, look, it's cut off because I need to be able to have that whenever we see someone that we haven't seen in a while, and then we can say that name after I press the button. That's what's going to be fun about having this button now. But to make the people happy.
久しぶりだな。
Mugiwara. There you go, people. Toei, please give Kiku grieving her brother. As far I haven't watched the past couple of episodes except for last night's, and it seems like that didn't happen, even though we wanted it. But I do love that we're getting proper goodbyes. So that's the stuff that's interesting to me because they probably had a conversation with Oda about it. So this is fun. Now that Cross Guild has been introduced in the anime, I'm really going to... I already reshot it. I shot it months ago, Cross Guild Davy Backfight video, but I wanted to add more stuff to it, so I reshot it. I haven't edited it. Still have all of the art that channel artist Dan DeCarlo did for the video, so that's going to be fun. But now that SAG Strike's over, I do want to get some live action content out. Just figuring out exactly proper way to go about it. And then yeah. So we'll definitely have a break week stream. Which could potentially be something live action related, maybe, no promises. Or it's a theory for theory. Imagine if I hadn't seen season 1 yet. Ugh. Neil said theory for theory with Roger Space. Well, I did want to wait until the strike was over to do any content with Roger, so I mean that's definitely on the table, but I gotta see if he's watched it yet, because I know that he wanted to do streams watching the show, so he still may have not watched it. Axo said they got you in the writer's room. Like, okay, so can anyone give me a recap? That's kind of how it works. Theory for theory with Matt. Yeah, we'll probably do that at some point. Has anyone mentioned that the blue sapphire is the gemstone of Saturn? Yes, that was mentioned earlier, and I did love that being brought up. Let's go through, make sure I didn't miss any supers. Probably start winding down. You know, it's not always going to be the case, but when chapters are out, I don't know. I think I'm gonna start making the streams a little shorter. Because what ends up happening is I like rush to get the video out, and I'm like up all night editing and everything, and then I gotta go to work, and it's a pain. This whole like schedule of everything where like the scan comes out on Wednesday, and then everybody's already been talking about it, and then I'm doing content on Sunday. It's a little rough. Hey. It's the life I chose. Sapphire Scale reminds you of Grayscale from Game of Thrones. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the inspiration for it. DK said, starting with 1100, I'll be going spoiler-free. It's the best life. DK, do you read spoilers? Home Killer Confuser said, going to go in for surgery later. This stream is what I needed. Thanks, Captain. Best of luck, and I hope it's not, you know, something super invasive or anything that, you know, you gotta be worried about. I hope it's something very small, simple, in and out, and that it goes well. Sending your best, chat. Give Cone Killer your spirit energy. Need to bring back the Genki Tama emoji. I would have said everybody flood the Genki Tamas. I do miss that emoji.
Together we're stronger. Together we're stronger.
See that? We're stronger together. Oh, it is extraordinarily difficult to avoid spoilers. Like I have to do a lot of very active things to make sure that I that I come into this spoiler free. I mean, I saw the Bonnie flipping off thing because I saw JD Legend's thumbnail, so like that was the spoiler that I got. And I do get I am upset with the YouTubers that spoilers in the thumbnails. I mean, you know, some of these guys are friends of mine now, and it's still, you know, I've been spoiled now. I don't know, probably 3 times by Tekking's thumbnails.
Savage.
And a little bit by Jay's. Most of the time, I'm pretty good at predicting what's in the next chapter, so if I see a character that I already expected in the chapter, I'm not worried about it. Like when Tekking had Dragon in the thumbnail for 1097, I was like, okay, he's supposed to be in the chapter. But when I saw Tekking's thumbnail that had Buggy on it, when it was the chapter where Buggy said that he wanted to go get the One Piece, like, I wasn't expecting Cross-Guild in that chapter, so that bothered me. And I think that very same chapter, I also got spoiled by Roger's thumbnail right before I started streaming that Sabo was in the chapter also. He had just replaced his thumbnail right before I went on. So that was a rough one. I get it, you know. I mean, look, nobody's got to curtail or move their world around for me or even Roger or anybody else that's official. But the life that I chose comes with a lot of like different things that I have to put into place so that I can preserve my enjoyment of the series, you know, because the only alternative is to like privately, quietly read the scans, but then not stream or release any content until the official, and then the official's not a reaction, but rather just seeing what the translation differences are, and then the stream becomes less of a read-through and more of a discussion. Which honestly, like, if streaming gets too chaotic, you know, or like, you know, spoilers and everything like that, that may become a future way that I run the channel, but not right now. This is Randy's burden, his glorious purpose. But it's like, I literally, like, I don't go on Twitter during the week. I don't get, I have to not read comments. Like, it's tough. It's tough. But it's like, but it also seems disingenuous to complain about it too. So it's, it's not anybody else's problem but mine. Ugh. DK said, but no, I want to experience One Piece the way it should. I want to support Randy, so I'm going to stop reading spoilers. Well, hey, look, I appreciate that, but I mean, by not reading spoilers, you're not supporting me. You're supporting yourself. Okay? Like, I read spoilers 20-something years ago when it was the end of Skypiea and it was like the beginning of Davy Backfight and even early Water 7, because I was a teenager that was rabid for whatever was coming next and my patience was low. And then, I've told this story before, but I started to realize, and I had an epiphany where I was like, I wasn't enjoying the series as much, and the content was great. Content was amazing. But seeing it on the paper, the way Oda presented it, was always cooler than reading a text document of what happened. Because those text documents and those spoilers are very often wrong or don't give the emotion that the chapter brings. Like, reading the spoilers for this chapter. Okay, so a text document says, Ginny dies. Kuma didn't get to hear it. Okay, still hurts, but seeing it, way better. Way better. So, and then when I went unspoiled into the CP9 reveal, I was like, I'm never reading spoilers again. Because it was such a transformative experience. Not realizing who those people were, having my mind blown, and if I had read a text document that said CP9 is Lucci, Kaku, Khalifa, and Pluno from the bar, I don't know. Maybe I'd be a casual One Piece fan. But instead I had the canon event where I was unspoiled for that moment, and it's been Goda ever since. Eric said, I'm probably not the only one that thinks this, but thank you so much, Randy, for all the incredible work, time, and effort you put into the streams and videos. I appreciate that, Eric. Because it is a lot of work. But I enjoy doing it, you know? That's the, you know, the fun of it. Like, having these conversations are fun. But I am gonna wrap things up here, guys. So we're getting close to 2 hours. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna say about this. Record, edit. And it's like trying to, you know, it's like it's weird too, because I try to figure out, all right, how am I gonna differentiate my content from everybody that's been making content since Wednesday or earlier, right? And then I've been putting my videos out on Mondays, but I'm competing with a couple of other people that put videos out, like Murphy. So then the videos don't do as well. And then a couple of times I put videos out on Tuesday, and then surprisingly they do better, even though I'm talking about stuff from literally a week ago. But then the video dies because the next chapter comes out the next day, or spoilers are already out. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that I have to figure out with the machinations of YouTube, which, you know, there's nothing necessarily, I'm just kind of like thinking out loud and spitballing things that don't necessarily matter for you guys, but it's stuff I gotta figure out. I mean, the easiest thing for me is to keep putting it out on Monday, but it all gets drowned. And then it's like I put all this effort into these videos, and then I'm in like YouTube jail. Unless people see them. I don't know. Is 1098 what I expected? I expected to see Ginny die in this chapter, so we got that. I did not expect it to be a celestial dragon that kidnapped her. I thought it was going to be the Marines. And by way of that, it could have gone, you know, like, hey, she was a slave, return her to the celestial dragons. I wanted to find a way to bring Sakazuki into all of this, which hasn't happened. And I feel like that was something that was really being set up. But, you know, the next chapter could end this, because I feel like 1100 needs to be Egghead and not the flashback still. But the question is going to be, does he actually dethrone Bakori? Does he become the king? But we also need to have a propulsion of the plot to Vegapunk. So that's why I still feel like Bonnie dies. But he knows about Stussy or something. So he meets Vegapunk and asks if there's anything that Vegapunk can do. Or Vegapunk randomly appears and says, I can help. We get clone Bonnie. I don't know. Anyway, I'll think more about that, and I'll have probably more fleshed out thoughts when I do the video. Gotta eat, gotta recharge. So, thank you everybody for hanging out today. We'll figure out what the content is going to be for next week, and we'll have, you know, Discord community posts. We'll say what it is, whether it's a theory for theory or something different. My guy Luke said, easy fix, less effort. Phone it in, my dude. Never phone it in. I can't do that. So, But what was my favorite thing from this stream? There was something where I was cooking for a little bit, because that's definitely going to be part of the analysis. The idea, that this is the, yeah, I think that's going to be the theme of the video. That this is just Chopper's flashback redone. Alright guys,
It's about to get spicy.
later.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.